What's going on, everybody? I'm Johnny Brooke from Crafted Workshop. I'm your guest, and we're back for episode number 90. Back for episode number 90 of the Creators Collective podcast with co-host Zack Herberholz from ZH Fabrications. What's going on, man?
We were supposed to have you on at episode 100. We screwed that up, I guess.
Is it episode 90? Oh, yeah, you guys got a little early there. Then we've got William Walker from William Walker Co. How you doing, Will?
Hey, guys, I'm doing good.
And then we've got James Wright from Wood by Wright. What's going on, James?
Oh, nothing much, Johnny. It's so good to have you on.
Yes.
Oh, man, bringing it
back to your podcast.
Yeah. Back. But definitely something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, speaking of which, why don't you tell us about your life, what you've been up to?
Anybody remember Junior, where Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby?
Oh yeah, that's a passing on the namesake there. So
Johnny
I think we call him Johnny 5, which
Short
is
circuit,
awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, so I've really been debating on getting a Johnny 5 tattoo. It's definitely something I'm considering. I think it'd be fitting. I don't think that's something I'd regret later in life, considering it is my kid's name.
Well, I mean, what if you need a job? Are you ever worried somebody's not going to hire you?
Nah. Who needs jobs? We'll just make our own jobs. That's
what if they're just like, sorry, man, we can't have you because of your tattoos.
Other platform, or I can just make furniture and sell it, just like the old days. But yeah, I guess besides that, just been chugging along. Been working on this guild project, which has been taking up a lot of my time. So that's been really good, though. Just a total change of pace for me, doing the long form, super in-depth video projects. I think I'm at 9 videos so far with 140 minutes of runtime so far, and I still have 3 videos to go.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is. It's definitely a lot of work, but it's been cool. It's a lot more, I think, conversational. So whereas my 11-minute produced videos might take 10 hours to edit, these guild videos are much quicker, usually 2 or 3 hours, because it's a lot more just talking to the camera and going through the process with the people who are watching, which I think is a cool way to do it, and is something that I think most YouTube people aren't patient enough for, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been cool for sure. Just a totally different type of video, but it's been really hard to keep that going in the background and keep the YouTube channel going, and obviously play with my son once in a while, and still have a relationship with my wife, and then sleep on top of all that. So yeah, it's
so you're not ready to come back to the podcast yet, is what you're saying?
I don't think so, man. I feel like I'm still barely staying afloat. I don't even know what my next project is going to be. That's where I'm at right now.
And I have no excuses.
Yeah, which is crazy for me. I'm usually got 2 months of projects planned, got sponsors lined up and materials and stuff, and I'm now I'm just scrambling at the last minute for a lot of this stuff. But I think once I get the guild project buttoned up in the next couple of weeks, that will start to balance things out. So yeah, it's been awesome though. Having a kid is really amazing. As 2 of you guys know, it's a really unbelievable experience. It's one of those things.
I got to stand up and say that not having a kid is also a pretty amazing experience.
Yeah, it was definitely great for the 29 years leading up to this. But it's one of those things that you just get a lot of joy out of. That is kind of hard to match.
In the hospital?
Huh?
Did you bawl your eyes out in the hospital?
Oh, definitely. Everybody, I think my entire family did. My parents came and cried, and then my brother saw him a month later, and we were all crying. And it's one of those things. It's just super emotional, and
I bet it's because coming from as the guy who has no kids, I bet it's one of those things where when it happens, it's just you couldn't prepare for it. Is it something?
Not at all.
What just happened? I thought I was going to be all right for this, and now I'm just
No. And I'm not very good at that anyway. I don't think super far ahead. My wife is a total pre-griever and all her emotions are dealt with 2 weeks before or months before the event even happens. That's, she's a psychologist, so I think she's very in tune with her emotions. Whereas I'm oh, we have a baby now. This is really happening, there's no going back at this point. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but he's a super easy kid, and so I feel incredibly lucky. And it's been so.
Man, you
Yeah.
sound like a lot like me. Like my wife is very much a planner, like makes lists, and I'm like
Stressed out or anxious or whatever she was. I'm like, yeah, we got plenty of time. We can paint in the nursery. It's like her due date's in like 2 weeks and we still haven't even like painted the nursery. So I'm like, we got time. He's not going to be here for 2 weeks. And, everybody's like, that's not like an exact science, right? I'm like, yeah, it's cool. But, he was a procrastinator just like I am. He arrived a week late, so that was good. Gave us a little bit extra time to prepare. So, yeah.
Does he have any sponsorships yet?
No, but I do want to get a crafted onesie made. I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yes.
So, all right. The problem is he's growing so dang fast that it's like by the time I order it, then I'm like, what size is he going to be at by the time I even get this thing? So he's growing like a weed. So it's ridiculous.
What are you drinking there? I'm actually super jealous.
I have this Revision Brewing, this amazing New England IPA called Gimme Dip.
And I'm drinking wine now. They're okay. They're decent. But I mean it's nothing like what you guys have there or what we had in Portland.
No, definitely not
the same. I mean, and you go to like the store here and it's just like they'll have like Cigar City or like some generic IPA or something. There's like 2 choices always, and you just get burned out of them. They don't have like They don't have like a variety. Anyway,
just gotta make another trip up to Asheville, man. Come on.
I know. Well, we're moving months.
Knife blades. I still need to make the handles for them, but I shaped them. I ground the bevels, the diamond profile bevels, in those 2 of them. Then I hardened them, knife grinding, freehand especially. I finished up a photo box for another photographer friend of mine. We're prototyping those to hopefully batch out a bunch of them. And other than that, just continuing work on the pool project and letting a lot of water out of the pool because we've had so much rain. I've let water out of the pool twice today. Because it was about to overflow.
And style, so a little bit higher quality, a little more cinematic type footage. So it's kind of fun. But did a video that was supposed to come out today, but I accidentally hit the wrong button and it came out yesterday. So, oops. Suddenly I'm getting all these comments. Like, why am I getting all these comments all of a sudden? Oh, a video just went live. And that was on how to rip a board with a handsaw. One I've been wanting to redo for a while because when I first got started with YouTube, I made a video on how to rip a board. It was my first ever how-to video, and it was bad. But it's a video that does well still, and people still go to look at it. And I feel bad every time someone comes to my channel after watching that video. So it was good to finally update that and do a semi-decent quality video.
Hey man, we all got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and I keep all my old videos up just for that reason, because a lot of people want to. People always are afraid of how the quality is for having been woodworking for a while. Well, on mine, you can actually go back and see me picking up my very first hand plane.
Yeah,
so
you can see me working on the floor of my garage with a Ryobi miter saw and nothing else in my shop. And seeing that evolution over the past like 2.5 years, I'm like, start with all this festival and Powermatic stuff. Like, you really don't need all this stuff. It's makes me happy.
More fun that way.
Yeah. First was my first video.
Definitely a different aesthetic than you have now.
I'd say so. Yeah, a little bit. Actually, my aesthetic now is nothing because I didn't put out. I have people like messaging me asking if I like got in a car accident or something because I didn't put out a video last month. I took like a vacation. I have 2 videos that are totally like recorded, and I just can't. I can't sit down in front of my computer. I can't. I don't want to do it. It's not. It didn't happen last month. Hopefully it'll happen. Hopefully I'll have the video out in like a week or so. I needed a vacation from YouTube. A lot of traveling, and it's like I kind of like had an affair with YouTube or with Instagram on YouTube. I don't know how that works, like with or on, but I stepped away from YouTube for a month and kind of focused on my Instagram because I just wanted to be out in the shop and not moving a tripod around and cursing and trying to get lighting and angles. I just wanted to go out there and like just kind of, disappear and just like the good old days, you know, just me and my music and no cameras. And
You mean the good old days when you would be working?
well, yeah, but I mean, you know, there's like a
yeah,
deeper,
when you
there's
still
like
had a day job.
there's like a deeper level of solace that you can get sometimes you're out there, and it's just like you're not recording,
Oh, it's amazing.
worried. You
It's
can just
amazing.
you can just kind of zone out, and the whole day just, you know, it's like a Zen thing. And you can still get that when you're recording, but it's, I don't know, it's just a little bit more, takes a little bit
I got
away.
close to that again 2 weeks ago when I had, because I hired a videographer to come out and actually shoot all the footage for August. So we were here for 2 days in the shop just cramming video footage, but I wasn't actually shooting anything. I was just woodworking, and he'd be getting all these shots around me, and it was like, this is awesome. I can just focus on woodworking. it was
great.
It was like that whole new experience again, and I was
See, that's the
amazed.
thing.
Done.
Yeah, that's the thing. So kind of a hybrid between and you, Zach, where, you know, just, you know, not filming and just woodworking.
Making knives, and that's something that I have so much to learn, and I don't want to learn with a camera in my face. Like, I want to learn. There's a lot of experimentation, and I, not that there's anything wrong with filming that, but I just, you know, if I'm going to do a video, I want it to be more kind of artistic and not how to. So like, I want to know what I'm doing before I start filming, essentially, you know. And
You're gonna hate my marking knife video.
Well, I was going to
it.
say that I think people like it
Kidding.
when you don't know what you're doing, because like the comments I get that are the most positive are when I show my mistakes. Because I mean, let's be real, almost everything I do on camera is the first time I've been doing that particular thing, you know. So it's just constant learning on camera to me, and people love it. Like, they love to see how you messed up, because it's likely they'll do the same thing, and then, you know, you show them how to fix it. And I don't know, man. I think there is something to say about that. I mean, none of us are professionally trained, you know, like,
I absolutely,
to a certain extent, we don't, any of us know what we're doing. So
I totally agree. I just didn't want to have to worry about recording for a couple of weeks. You know, I just,
yeah, I don't know. So
it's so hot. It's so hot in my shop, and like moving a tripod around my head and walk to wherever I'm going to set it down. I have to like make room for it. It's just, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's
so all right. Along the
on one of my Instagram stories, and I think I have one left. I haven't checked my Instagram yet for sale, but
is that me making that noise? Who's end is that noise on? Do you guys hearing that?
Is it? Hang on. Is it this?
No, it's like a Google ding. I don't know. If it's just on my end. It's weird.
Not me.
I don't know what it is. All right. Cool. Sorry to interrupt.
in lightly and still get them on there. I put the thing on there. It's just a standard like tool ID stamps with the letters. And the first one I put it on there and I smack it and it just went pshing, just snap the blade right in half. Relatively, you quench it at least I'm working with 1075, which is a pretty forgiving, which is a pretty forgiving carbon steel in the scheme of things. But you heat it up to 1500 degrees and then you quench it, and then it's super brittle. And then just doing 2 cycles of 400 makes it, reasonable. It's crazy that 2 cycles at such a relatively low temperature makes such a big difference in the tensile strength of a blade. I don't know if it'd be tensile strength, but the durability, the toughness of the blade. Crazy stuff.
So are you just doing
tested in oil first, because oil is less shocking on the steel than water. Water cools it way faster than oil. So
right. So if it doesn't get hard in oil, then do water.
That's how I would do it.
Water.
That's how I would do it. Yeah. And also, what kind of oil are you using?
Well, I haven't actually used it yet on the standby, but it's just going to be vegetable oil.
Yeah. And like a lot of the oils, you're actually supposed to heat them to like 100 degrees, or I don't know. I'm just making up that number, but you're supposed to preheat the oil because it actually increases the viscosity. It makes it more viscous, makes it thinner so that it actually cools off.
Less viscous.
Yeah, I knew I screwed that up. Anyway, it's strange, but yeah, you get the oil hotter and it actually cools your piece faster. So take that.
All right.
Yeah. What kind of water? What kind of water are you using?
It's tap water, well water.
Oh,
Fiji,
you're supposed to use artisanal
Icelandic glacier water.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the only way to quench, unless it's the toilet in Jimmy's Manhattan shop.
Yeah, the toilet quench.
Toilet quench.
That's where all the. I mean, New York's known.
Go with a planned shot list, or does it tend to be a bunch of long shots from the same position?
So, I mean, I had never really planned my shots. I don't know about you guys, but it's always just like, oh, what angle am I going to be doing this at? Let me put the camera in some kind of interesting way. So I try to move the camera around more frequently, though, just because I think things get a little boring if it's in the same exact spot for a long time. So neither, I guess. I definitely don't really plan out my shots, though. That would be way too difficult. I mean, there's definitely like angles that I'm comfortable with now that I know, okay, if I'm going to be on the table saw, put the camera here, I know that'll end up looking good and capture the action well and that kind of thing. So, I do try to move around the camera a good bit just because to me, that's like one of the big things that beginners make mistakes with when they're just starting to make YouTube videos is they'll just like leave the camera in the same spot for like 30 minutes. Because even if you're doing the same task, move the camera around a couple times because then you can splice it together and make it look like you're using more than one camera.
Oh, that like not only did I use, it's unbelievable now the things that I cut out of my video. I'm like, that's a totally crucial part of the build, but they know what I did.
Yeah.
Just because it, even though the information is good, it takes away from the video, and I don't know.
Yeah, so I follow the kind of cinematic standard for an editor. When you get into like high production, like
either on the editing floor, on the cutting room floor, or, will be the one that I show when I make a mistake. But I, definitely I roll more when I'm doing something I don't know I'm doing because I want to make sure to catch the time I'm doing it well. Like when I'm turning, I get way more footage than I need because like I really don't know what the hell I'm doing on the lathe. So, yeah.
You just have to get that one.
Yeah.
You just have to get that one good shot of that, then nothing else really matters.
Yeah.
Saying if I don't know you or if you're not UPS or FedEx, I'm not going to answer the door. Like I appreciate you being a fan, but respect our privacy. And like that sucks. Like that really is not something I ever want to have to deal with. And, like he's got mountain bike trails and literally that he's built in his backyard. So it's kind of something he can't avoid that much. But it's interesting. I had never really given much thought to it until I talked to people like that. And
I can't imagine, like, I don't know. I feel like he'd have to be so much bigger than.
I had that actually happen.
I don't know, man.
I was out running, and my wife gave me a call and said, "Hey, by the way, so and so stopped by, and they were here to meet you."
Yep.
I'm like, "Is so and so?"
Yep. I know Mac Ramona's had that happen. I mean, you don't have to be
like every. No, I won't. Never mind. Yeah. Yep.
But outside of that, I don't have I'm not even for.
I'm not even joking.
Divert attention.
Everybody. Well, it's kind of nice because I'm in like a residential neighborhood and I'm rating loud power tools all day long and nobody says a word. Kidding. I'm not kidding when I say all my other neighbors are deaf and the other one's a drug dealer. So it's like we all have this mutual understanding. It's like, hey, let me do my thing, and the rest of them are just oblivious. It's actually kind of nice. So that's my security. If you're not scared of my neighborhood, come on down.
26 prizes being given away on the channel right now. So,
wow, sweet. That's impressive.
I should give a shout out. So something really cool happened to me yesterday. Anybody want to guess?
Ooh, you got noticed by an old person.
What? No, that's never gonna happen. No, I broke 10,000 subscribers on my Instagram.
Oh yeah, congratulations!
Yeah,
all right,
900 early in the morning yesterday, and I posted a picture of it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm getting close. And then like a few minutes later, Ann of All Trades, Ben Ueda, Master of None, KJ Sawdust. I think that's the 4 people. I might be forgetting somebody. Anyway, they all like saved that, posted it to their stories, and within 2 hours, I picked up like almost 300 subscribers. So So
That's awesome.
that was fast, and thanks everybody who was a part of that.
Sweet.
Oh, look, I just hit 10,000 too.
ASAP.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
That was
This comes to us from Jonathan24, who has given us many of our jokes. So thank you, Jonathan. Keep them coming.
Whatever happened? Was it Jeff Gruff that always had the jokes?
Oh
too?
yeah, he had some
Yeah.
classic jokes.
yeah.
I don't know if I've seen him in the chat for a while. You didn't take him with you, did you, Johnny?
No, I did. I've headhunted him.
It was probably
Your
me.
jokes are too good. You got to come to my live streams now.
If you start another podcast without us, I know where you live. I'm one of the few people who knows where you live.
You don't have to worry about that. Believe me, you do not. Video on the kind of step-by-step process that he takes to build these structures. That's what he does for a living. So it's just really interesting because he is super, super meticulous. Like I never imagined you could build like a 30 by 40 structure and have it be like square within a 16th of an inch. Like that just boggles my mind. So yeah, he's awesome. Definitely have been trying to learn more about that. Like if and when we move to another house in this area, I definitely want to build or, have built and help build a separate structure for my shop rather than having it in the garage. Yeah. So I'm just trying to learn more and more about that as I can. And his channel is by far the best resource I've found on that. And then also Wabi Sabi. I don't know if you guys have seen them. I think I recommended them back in the day. Yeah, this Canadian couple, they live in Nova Scotia and they've been like slowly renovating their kind of farmhouse. And it is just so great. The dude's editing is ridiculously good. Like he does such a good job. They're just really cute couple. They seem to really love what they do. And they've done a very good job kind of, revamping this old kind of rundown farmhouse into something that looks really, really cool. So I definitely recommend them as well.
Sweet.
Ooh, I do have one now.
Oh, you got something?
Forgot. Yeah, I
found the one on like the block plane and this from them, which is kind of cool. It's a interesting feature because I guess the woods in Australia are particularly difficult to work with. So I think, that's kind of their target audience is people working with, crazy hard Australian woods. So
yeah, because they have like
pretty
bullock
cool
down there, which is
it's
and we have an entire playlist of all of these videos of hand tools being made. And so it's just really kind of a cool opportunity, even though you have, 3 different marking gauges being made. Each one's made very differently. And there's a lot of great inspiration in there of like, oh, I never thought of doing it that way. And so it's kind of fun to go through those and actually pick up different ideas of different ways you might actually try making something. So that has been inspiring for me. What about you, Zach? You got anything?
Mine's kind of lame, but mine's just nothing, like quiet. You guys remember that? You remember that, Johnny? You remember quiet?
No. What is that? I don't know that word.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's nice to every morning, like at least take a little bit of time with just no noise.
You're like the grumpy old man of the podcast. Like, yeah, back in my day, we didn't have cameras.
I like it when it's raining.
We just inhaled sawdust and drank our coffee black and full of sludge. And
I like the rain.
Really do that anymore. Like take 5-10 minutes of quiet and just chill the F out, man.
It's definitely something to definitely try to do more. Like it's something I've been trying to do more because I find myself just in this cycle of media consumption.
Yeah,
because that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, you don't realize how attached your mind especially if you're on your phone or on your computer that all day long. Like you don't realize how hard it is just to sit down for 10 minutes and not do anything. Like because your mind will wander and 10 seconds later, you're like, oh man, I should check my email, or like, I need to do this really quick. And like, no, just set that aside for 10 minutes.
You should build a pool. It helps with that.
No, we have a pool and it's a nightmare.
That's a
drop. And then I'm using the Veritas honing guide because I'm not that good yet to freehand it. So it's been pretty amazing how sharp those things get. Like I really don't think I'd ever had my tools that sharp with like the work sharp, and I didn't do it nearly enough. So having something that I don't have to plug in can just kind of pull out real quick and sharpen and get back to work. It's definitely going to make me use my hand tools more frequently.
So I got the same set. I think we all copied James there, and
yeah.
So
and he copied Paul Sellers, so it's just
okay. Well, whatever.
So it's just
okay. Well, whatever.
I'm still rocking my water.
And they cut very fast,
and they look messy. Good. They're very nice looking.
They're clean. I just like the mess of like whenever I use whetstones, there's just messy and I don't know.
Just good diamond plates, I got the affiliate links to them in my video, so you guys can check through that.
Well played. Zack is going to send him some diamond stones.
Zack will send him his old whetstones.
Yeah, you can have my old ones. I don't even want them things. What's that?
How many of the episodes?
I was just trying to think of like what tool has made my life easier this week usually, and this week it has definitely been. So that's my. It's a Fear belt grinder. I think if you just type
PH454.
Yep, it's a beast.
Awesome.
I love it, and I just got the little radius attachments for it, so I can
nice.
get into tight.
Yeah, the little corners. Whatever that's called at the bottom, at the top of the handle, the little
plunge cut.
The plunge line.
No, that thing.
The what?
Where the handle meets the blade.
Choil.
That's called.
Chat. Entry. It's like super entry level tools. You can get into it for like $30.
I actually work with Tandy, and I'm working with him on a couple of projects. And the people at the stores are incredibly knowledgeable.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy because you go in there, it's super overwhelming because there's like,
it's
a whole new language. It's like you're like, I need rivets, and they're like, do you need number 12 line 27-37B rivets, or do you need -22 line 14 rivets? There's so many things. So yeah, their staff's pretty awesome every time I've been in there.
Definitely with it.
Yeah. Well, how about you, James?
I have to go with the compass plane. It is the most worthless tool, but the most fun tool when you actually get to use it. Because when you actually get to use it, it's like, oh, I can use that tool now.
Wait, wasn't that your last
on things?
The thing that I just made like today?
Yeah, I sent things.
The thing that I just made like today?
Yeah, I sent the message 2 days ago, yesterday. So I'm safe. I'm not copying you. So take that.
No, I talked about it on the podcast last week.
What's that?
I said I talked about it on the podcast last night. Well, I do a flat, but the ones I just did, I did a diamond bevel profile, so it's flat on one side and
that's what I'm talking about. It's like, so one side I would sit perfectly flat against whatever
side. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
Yeah, look at my Instagram real quick, and you'll see.
Just bought the Veritas one, and that works well for me.
Well, there you go. It's more fun to make it.
Well, Caleb Harris of You Can Make This Too, and John from John Made It. You guys are helping us make a better podcast, and thank you for that. So that's about it for this week. And I do want to say a huge thank you to our friend and former co-host Johnny Brooke for joining us here. Go take a look at his stuff on the Crafted Workshop, and I'll leave a link to that down in the description of the podcast. Thanks for coming along.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be back.
So that's about it for this week. Until next time, have a wonderful week.
Later.
Bye.
See you guys.